Okay. Hey guys, my name is Kelly Dahl and I'm a presidential diamond. I live in Kansas City. And just to give you a little bit of background on this call and why we wanted to do this, I titled it Comeback Queens. Really, the inspiration for this came from a speech that Mark Pentecost, our CEO, gave in 2018, which I was thinking, oh, that was just a couple years ago. Oh, it was 3 years ago. But he gave this speech at our 2018 conference, and it was essentially talking about people that had been through a lot of life, a lot of business, ups, downs, and nobody's business looks the same, but nobody's business is, straight from the bottom to the top. Everybody's story and journey is different, and it looks like a roller coaster a lot of times. So I'm really excited for you guys to hear from these amazing leaders in our company who have had a lot of life happen, and they're going to share their stories, inspiration. You guys are going to want to take notes. You're going to want to pay very close attention because they are four very, very successful ladies in our company who have, gone against a lot of really tough things and persevered and still come out on top. So we do have one that we're missing tonight. So just so you know, there are four ladies that are speaking. Somebody was not feeling well, so she was unable to make it. So I am going to toss it over to Carissa and let her take it away.
Hi, everyone. Hope you're having a fantastic night. I was curious about how long everyone who has been in and what rank and all the things, so we know exactly who we're talking to tonight. So a lot of you have been in 1 year, 2 years, many years. I saw a couple that were just a couple months. And so like Kelly said, the reason we're doing this is because, we're all running a business, and in business, it's never a straight line up to success. You're going to have, some months where you feel on top of the world, and other months or maybe a couple months that you're not feeling the best. And you're like, goodness, what can I do to get going and moving forward? And so I'm just going to first start out with sharing my story in depth and just kind of where I've came from and my journey in the business. So I joined this business when I was 22 years old in October of 2016. I had been watching my enroller for 15 months and, I just was like, no, don't want to do that. But then I had in July of 2016, I'd started grad school for my doctorate of occupational therapy. And I've always worked and had a job while in college and all of those things. And I just couldn't at that time. I was commuting 30 minutes one way to and from school. There just wasn't enough time in the day. And so I was like, all right, I'm finally going to give this business a shot. And so I did. And I had been watching for so long that I jumped in with both feet, promoted to Ruby in December, which was 2.5 months. And then life happened within the first 7 months of my business. I was in grad school for my doctorate of occupational therapy. And, I normally don't share this because I was so embarrassed for so long, but I think I was on my walk today with my dog and I was like, someone needs to hear this with my dog and baby. I'm like, it's been so long that God can use something that you've done in your past, whether it was your fault or not, and use it for redemption. And so I was in grad school for my doctorate of occupational therapy, had just started a class, and I took some pictures of like some paperwork that I guess I wasn't supposed to. And I got called into my professor's office and confronted about it. And they said that it was plagiarism and all of these things. Long story short, it'd be a very long story. I didn't want to fight it or anything. So I ended up withdrawing on April 8th of 2017, something that I had worked so hard to get into. If anyone's in OT school, you do your undergrad, you take your GRE, you do all of the things. And I was devastated. I worked so hard to get into it. And I actually found a message on Facebook Messenger today. So that happened 7 months into the business. I found it today, and it's meant to be that I read it because it's just crazy. So I was in April, I was a Ruby, paid as an executive back then. The next month in May of 2017, worked my butt off to go diamond. So in 7.5 months in the business, if you've ever heard someone say, make this your plan A and not your plan B, and it will like work out for you. That's what happened, right? The whole grad school thing happened, and I had a bachelor's degree actually in business, and I either could go get a job in that or go all in with this business. And I decided to go all in with this business. And as awesome it was to hit, diamond in May of 2017, sometimes when you're running, you don't always get those runners to join your team right away. And you sometimes sit there and wonder like, okay, am I meant for this business? Like, oh, can I keep going? Can I keep pushing forward? And so on August 20th of 2017, I sent this message to someone that's in the business. And I said, I felt like God was speaking to me through you. So I was on a Zoom like this at one point. When you said some of us feel like we have done stuff that was in our control and we have guilt about it, that's me. Only my parents, in-laws, and husband know about me. But I was in school for my doctorate of OT, and on April 8th, I technically withdrew from my program, but it's because of something that happened that I chose to withdraw because I was maybe going to get kicked out. I tried to convince myself that God has a plan, but I feel like such a failure. I grew up in a Christian-based home, and I told my parents that God has the ultimate plan. And I know this wouldn't have happened without him having the ultimate plan. But they say that's not true. But they say that's not always the case. I struggle that I may have missed God's plan for my life. I feel so torn since withdrawing. I've ran with this opportunity and have gone from executive to diamond and super close to double diamond. I just feel so torn. Do you think I've missed God's plan for my life? That was in August of 2017. And her response to me was not at all. He will make something absolutely beautiful of this. He has such a beautiful plan for your life. And guess what? And I know someone needs to hear this tonight. This didn't take him by surprise. It's not like God is like, uh-oh, I didn't know she was going to do that. Darn. Ha ha. He knows all. And one day you will look back at this and be amazed at how it all got put together. So I just know that there's someone on this Zoom that's going through something right now that you're wondering, how am I supposed to push through this? How can I keep moving forward? And I just want you to know that back in 2017, that was me. I was so devastated. I read all the devotionals that I could get my hands on, and I was, a diamond at the time, just wondering, is this going to work out? Can I keep moving forward? And the answer is yes, when you have a little bit of faith and just keep pushing forward. And so that was in 2017, was a diamond, just kept moving forward, consistently worked my business. I nannied on the side as well, so I could get some extra income. And then in January of 2018, life happened again, you guys. When I say I have had life happen, so much life has happened. January 8th of 2018, my one and only sister, was involved in a home invasion shooting. Her roommate ended up passing away, and my sister, literally by the grace of God, survived. You can Google it, Ashley Van Hamert, Belgrade, Montana shooting, really happened. If you're like me, agreeing, you're like, did that really happen? Yes, it did. And because of this business, I was a diamond at the time. I was able to drive 12 hours to Colorado, be with my sister in the hospital for the next 6 months. 6 months. Was able to be by her side while I was with her in the hospital in February of 2018, promoted to double diamond, got my sister's account to diamond, and was able to, get to double diamond by her side in February of 2018. Just kept working my business, going forward a couple times, didn't always maintain rank, it's business. It happens. It goes up and down and things happen. Then in November of 2018, promoted to triple diamond. I was on top of the world, saw my first 5-figure paycheck, and I was like, life is good. This is awesome. Like, what is this? My husband's a teacher. We live in South Dakota, so that kind of money here is just like unheard of. Okay. That was on top of the world. So then I kind of got complacent and, was good. So guess what? In 2019, I didn't promote once, not once. Did my team promote? Did I move forward? Anything like that? Because I just had to learn how to dream bigger. And that's what I love about this business, is that it pushes you forward and it pushes you to continue to dream more and to move forward. So that was in 2019, didn't promote at all. Then this is called Comeback Queen. So obviously, in 2019, I was a lifetime triple diamond, but at the beginning of 2020 last year, January of 2020, I was being paid as a diamond. And the reason I'm sharing that is because, if you stop showing up to the gym, or if you stop showing up to, certain things, you're not always going to continue to see the results. And I was still making residual income that I was super thankful for, but I was not being consistent like I should have. And I finally just made the decision that I was like, well, again, I'm either going to figure this out or I'm not. And so in March of 2020 last year, I was paid as a diamond as well. So I'm trying to think back. That's why I'm looking up. My volume was 38,000. In April, got double diamond back. My volume jumped up to, I have it written down somewhere. Where did I write that down? It was like 60,000 in April. Okay. Listen to this now. Got double diamond back. There was re-rank bonuses back then. So got the double one. From April to May, my volume went from 60,000 to 115,000 in 1 month. Okay, you might be, and we went presidential diamond organically with 115,000 in volume. Okay, literally diamond, maintaining diamond to double to presidential. Now, how did we do it? Right? I see, holy cow, wow, what, you guys, A little bit of faith can go a long ways. I just started talking to my team, going live in my team page. I just started saying we're an above average presidential diamond team. I use that word all the time. We're an above average presidential diamond team. We're an above average presidential diamond team. We're an above average presidential diamond team. And I was just going live in my team page all the time and just creating that momentum and having the faith that, you know, when I was journaling, talking about all of those things, you guys, a little faith can go a long ways. And so actually, it's funny. Another thing in this devotional that I was reading this morning that I want to read to you guys is about faith. It's from this Draw the Circle Mark Batterson thing. So it says, some plants, like dreams, take a lot longer. My dream of writing had to germinate for 13 years, and some my goals will take decades to accomplish. Faith is what keeps those dreams alive, even when it seems as though they are dead and buried. But that is the very nature of seeds. They go underground, they disappear, and while it may seem like they are dead, they are not. They're just germinating beneath the surface. Faith doesn't look like much, but we never know what it can become. A little faith goes a long way. In fact, a little faith will last an eternity. And so I wanted to share that with you guys because I think so often we look for the magic script or this or that. And I was even talking to a sideline. I even get caught up in this. I was just caught up in this today, but it's like, if you just have the faith that something's going to happen, just hang on to faith that, like, if you move your feet, you guys, in this business, if you move your hands, that God will bless your hard work, you guys. He will. God doesn't pick favorites. And so I just want you to know that if you're in a place right now that you're like, God, I just don't know if I can keep moving forward. Keep moving forward. Keep getting out the host to post. Keep sending the messages. Keep planting the seeds, because I promise that you will be able to move forward in this business. And those times that I felt like I didn't know if I was going to be able to move forward, you know, August of 2017, I was a diamond. I had no idea how I was going to be able to move forward. I felt like such a failure in life. I felt like I had failed God. I'd failed my family. I'd failed my future. And I had no idea what was going to happen. God had this beautiful plan laid out that someday when we had our first baby, we just had our first baby in March, that I'd be able to be a stay-home mom with our child and work this business from home. Like, his plan was so much more beautiful than I could have ever pictured or imagined. And I promise his plan for your life too is just that much better. But in this season that maybe you're working towards having a comeback, focus on the growth that you need to have right now. Okay. Focus on who you need to become. Because I believe before my team, before we go ambassador and we have some huge goals out there, like, I have a lot of growth on who I become in the process. And so even though that some of those times were hard, you know, I dove into personal development. I dove into the word, just devotionals, all of the things so that I could move forward. So what I want to leave you guys with is that you know, we're no matter what your story is, no matter where you're at, like, God can redeem it. And so if you feel like I said in the past, you've done something wrong or anything like that, like, it can be redeemed. Start making decisions today to move forward. And you literally will be so, like, your story is meant to inspire someone in only a way that you can. So just know that but you guys, you have to put your hands to work. Okay, it's great to get on these Zooms and hear inspirational stories, and it's great, but I can tell you that to go from diamond to presidential, you guys, I worked my butt off. I got over 300 host to post up in May and signed 112 customers because I put in the work. But that work wouldn't have been blessed if I wasn't praying over it and all of that stuff as well. So you got to have both, but you got to put it in the work so that so that what you're praying for can be blessed, right? We can't just sit here and wish for $1 million to fall into our lap. Like, you got to get behind that faith and behind that prayer with works and put in the work. And then I can promise you, because still looking back, going from 38,000 to 115,000 in volume, yeah, I put in a lot of work, but that was not possible without God and without him blessing it. So I promise your work will be blessed when you stay consistent and you show up day in and day out. And I cannot wait for so many of you guys to say that you went from diamond to presidential diamond in 2-3 months because you just decided that you were worth it, and you decided that you were going to start showing up consistently for yourself and for your future self.
Holy moly, who is feeling the fire? Tell me in the chat, what's your biggest takeaway? Key things for me, which are, I've seen it a million times in so many different stories. Her plan B went from plan B to plan A. And my favorite takeaway, God doesn't pick favorites. As presidential diamonds, we, like Krista said, it's so easy to get caught up in that and think, oh, it's just not my time, all of these things. Oh my gosh, Krista, absolutely killed it. Love it. Love your story. I appreciate you so much. Okay, Miss Ashley, where are you? There you are.
Okay, hey guys. All right, so I have nothing prepared special for you. I'm just gonna let God talk and through me, and hopefully you guys can resonate with something or anything. And I gotta change it off of me because I cannot watch myself talk. Hold on 1 second. There we go. Okay, so hi, I am Ashley Crenshaw. I have been a part of this business for 5 years now, since March. And when I started, I literally just started for a couple extra $100 a month. Insert income disclosure because I'm going to say a lot of it. So I'm just throwing that out there right now. But anyways, I started for a couple extra $100 a month. Who drop a 1 in the chat if that was something that you did? You just joined this business to hopefully make enough to like maybe get some groceries or go get your nails done. Or for me, it was my husband's a college football coach, and I was a full-time registered nurse working in the ER about 60 hours a week. And so I literally just wanted to have a couple extra $100 so I didn't have to work another shift and I could go and hang out with him and we could do all this fun, adventurous stuff. And so quickly, within my first 2 months, I hit the rank of Ruby. I got a $1,000 bonus. Back then we had a $1,000 Ruby bonus. And I was making an extra $400, $500 a month, and I was living life. And then I think, gosh, like 3 months later, I ended up going Emerald. And I was sitting there and I was like, this is it. I have made it. I've got the money in my pockets. I'm meeting all these friends. I'm going to Florida. I'm doing all of these things. Like I have all these girlfriends. Like this is great. And so I was good. I sat there forever, you guys. I don't know all my exact numbers, but I sat there for at least 9 months, 10 months. I don't know. I sat there forever. I sat at Emerald for almost a year and a half, I think. Yes. I sat there and I didn't always maintain it. I went back down to Ruby. I went all the way down to executive, and I'll get to that in a second. But that was because I treated this business like a hobby. I didn't think that this would ever be something that I would do. Drop a 2. I'm going to drop a lot of numbers. Drop a 2 if you ever thought, or if you are in this business right now and you don't think ever in a million years that this is going to be something that you do full time. You're going to always have your career. I always thought I was going to be a nurse. I always thought that that was my career path. I thought that was my passion. I thought that was what God had intended for me to do for the rest of my life until I was 80 years old and finally could retire. And so I didn't have a plan for this business other than having fun with girlfriends and making that extra couple $100. And then my why changed. We found out that we were pregnant. I'm pregnant right now too. So if I'm breathing really heavy, it's literally because I just can't breathe. And so I found out I was pregnant with our first son, and my why changed a lot. Like I was like, holy cow, like now we're going to have this baby and we've got to be able to afford it and all of the things. And so it wasn't until I hit 34 weeks and I actually delivered him 6 weeks early at 3 pounds, 3 ounces. And we had preeclampsia, the whole 9 yards. And I was looking at him in the NICU in the isolate, and my job wanted me to be back in 8 weeks. And I sat there looking at him and I was like, there is no way in heck that I am going to leave this baby while I'm at work and he's here. And so I got to work. I changed the way I thought about things. I decided that this was going to be a way for me to drop to PRN, still sitting there thinking in my head that I was still going to be a nurse, but I was just going to go to PRN, and this was going to help me make a little bit more money to be able to provide for our family so I could stay home with him. So we ended up getting him out after 23 days. I'm doing my extra extended version, Kelly. I hope you're okay with that. We ended up going home after 23 days. Thank you, Jesus. He was just needed to gain the weight. And I started doing this at home. And I started to get very, very complacent. Who has said, oh my gosh, I'm all in with this business. I'm going to drop a 3. I'm all in with this business. I'm going to do this come hell or high water. Like this is going to change my life. And then you get home or you get stuck in your ways and you don't do a damn thing. Because that's exactly what I did. We got home from the NICU and I got busy with being a first-time mom, being 14 hours away from any help, family. My husband's in the middle of school. All my focus was on him and nothing else. So I got lazy again. And I told myself, oh, this is going to change our lives. And then I didn't put in the action or the work. And so it wasn't until my son was 6 months old, my husband had gotten fired, because if you know the coaching world, Coaches get fired all the time. Head coach gets fired, everybody's gone. And that's exactly what happened. So I had to start going back to work as a nurse full time to make ends meet for his. And so it wasn't until we went to conference and I wasn't going to go because one, I wasn't going to leave my little baby. And two, we couldn't afford it. There was no way I was going to be able to afford it. So you want to know what I did? My friend who I saw, she said she's on here, Brianna, she messaged me and I'm a huge yellow. And she said, well, if you're not going, I'm not going. And I was like, well, no, I can't be the reason she doesn't go. And so I decided, maxed out a credit card, booked flights, we went. And that was the year of the dark horse. If you haven't been in that long, Mark made this incredible speech on stage. That's our CEO. And it literally just lit a fire within us. And she went home and she literally just took off. And I was like, well, she can't take off without me. And so I started taking off with her and we just ran. And I'm telling you guys, like, it went from I was rocking my son at night asleep, fighting with my husband about money, crying to sleep, wondering where we were going to get groceries every week, to literally just deciding right then and there that I was going to make a change. And there was nothing anybody could do about it. So I got to work. I started to learn Host to Post. You guys, I hated Host to Post. I love it now, but I hated Host to Post. Like, I didn't understand it. When people explained it to me, I was like, that makes no sense. Like, how are you having any success with that? Like, I hated it. I didn't want to try it. I was going to be stuck in my old ways of like cold messaging people and just messaging on Instagram for product models and all of these things. And then I tried it. And you guys, I went from being, no, I'm not super good with numbers, but I'm going to try to give you guys these numbers because I've got 2 comeback stories. So July of 2018, I was paid as executive. I remember my paycheck was like $128. Shelly, if you hate Host to Post, try it for 1 or 2 months. And I tell you right now, it's going to change your life. So anyways, I was paid as executive. I started Host to Posting and I started putting in the work and the action and showing up 110% in my business. A month later, I was maintaining, so August of 2018, I was maintaining Emerald and I was only about 800 or 900 BV away from Diamond. And I remember it being the last few hours of the night and I was going to pay to get Diamond because I'd never been Diamond and I thought it was going to be so amazing. And it is amazing, but like I was like about ready to pay for it and something told me not to. And so I stopped. I didn't pay for my promotion. And then the next month, you guys, so executive, I was executive in July. September, I went Diamond and I got a $10,000 bonus. Now, what month are we about to roll into, you guys? So if you're sitting here saying that you don't think that you can promote in the fall or you can't do this in the winter and the holidays are here and all this stuff, September, I promoted from executive to Diamond. I gotta take a breath. September, October, I went double Diamond. Never in a million years, you guys, did I think I could go double Diamond. But the last week of October, my upline called me and she goes, you know, you could go double, right? And I was like, no. And she's like, yeah, you could. So she charted it out for me because back then I was terrible at, I'm like negative green. You guys are going to think I'm so goofy. I was terrible at charting. She sent me my chart. She's like, this is what you need to do. And I did it. I just went and filled it out. So I went double. My husband went Diamond. We earned, oh my gosh, like $45,000 in bonuses so far. And then November happened. I promoted him to double and got another crazy bonus. So we were up to like, I don't know the exact numbers, 50, 60 in bonuses. And then that February, our team went triple and we earned another, basically we earned $85,000 worth of bonuses in that 6-month span. Going from $100 paycheck, you guys, to seeing my first 5-figure paycheck and $85,000 worth of bonuses. So the time that we are in and the things that they are coming out with in September for conference, you do not want to stop now. If you think you are counting yourself out right now, don't. Decide right now tonight that you are all in. Decide right now that you're going to change your family's life come hell or high water. If you're like me and you're sitting at night crying, or you're sitting there arguing with your spouse about money, or you've separated with your spouse because of money, why not try this business? all it takes is commitment, consistency, and discipline. That's all it takes. So I wanted one more little story. Fast forward. This time, well, no. When did we promote presidential? Oh my gosh. Teresa, when did we go? I'm so bad. July, June. Okay, so June of 2020. Let's back up to May of 2020, you guys. We were running for presidential. Our whole team was, we were changing tons of lives, tons of promotions were happening. And I was like, June is our month. We're going to make it happen. You guys, we got to June, and like Carissa said, our volume had jumped like crazy too. We went from, I don't remember the exact numbers, but we were like in the 30s to 40s to all of a sudden we jumped the next month to 70,000. And then all of a sudden we jumped up to like 98. In June, we barely missed our presidential diamond promotion. Everybody promoted that needed to promoted. Plus that, we just needed the volume. And so then we hit July. Well, in June, I found out I was pregnant, and we hit July, and I was like, we're doing this. Like, we've got this. My team was pumped. And then July 8th of 2020, I found out that I was having a miscarriage. And it rocked my world, because if you guys have ever followed me or know anything about our story, we had our son, and then we had been trying for almost 2 years, and we could not get pregnant. We couldn't figure it out. Every doctor was telling us everything's fine, to just be patient and do all of the things to make it happen. And it wasn't just happening for us. And so we got pregnant. And then all of a sudden I found out July 8th that we lost the baby, and I was crushed. I remember like not responding to my team chat for 3 days. I remember just going through so many emotions with God and feeling so angry and feeling so confused and just not understanding anything. And I'll just fast forward through all of that. And then July 31st of 2020, we went presidential diamond with over 100,000 in volume. I don't remember the exact number, but literally I went through something that was so earth shattering for me and like rocked our family. And we went through so much, and we were still able to come back and promote to the highest rank that I've ever experienced, and be able to help so many others promote and change their lives and their situations. So the point of me telling you guys that is, if you're going through something so hard right now and you feel like that promotion is so far away, or that you can't do this because something's going on in your family, like, let's face it, there's a lot that's going on in everybody's lives, either with the pandemic or anything. You can do whatever you put your mind to. Because the one thing that I decided when I was going through all of that was, what can I control? Can I control what just happened to me? Absolutely not. But I know what I can control, and that is going for this promotion and showing others that no matter what you're going through, you can persevere and go to the mountaintop and live out your dreams. And so now we're fast forward almost over a year later, we're pregnant again. I am 26 weeks on Tuesday. Just went through having COVID, and that was the scariest and hardest thing to go through as well. And I was super sick, but the awesome thing is what can you control is this business. Yeah, it took me out for a week, but like, I have such an amazing team, and we rallied together, and we're going for our second run to go to Ambassador Diamond. And it wouldn't be possible with one, believing in myself and believing in God and believing in the team that we have and how many lives that we can change. This company is meant to change lives. And so if you don't believe that right now, I want you to wrap your head around it right now. They are constantly doing things and figuring out things to change your situation and get you out of debt. And so tonight, if you came on the Zoom and you just felt like completely discouraged, and you just don't understand why you're here or why you're even doing this business, or if you even can do it, I'm here to tell you right now that you can. Because if a small girl from South Dakota, we live in Missouri right now, we're moving back there to South Dakota in like 20 days. But if a small girl from South Dakota that doesn't hardly know anybody can do this business and become a presidential diamond, not knowing she would ever be this, you can too. And so that's my inspiration for the night. And I hope this resonated with you, and go out there and do the things that you want to do. If you want to go diamond, if you want to go presidential, set that big audacious, big hairy audacious dream and go out there and do it for yourself. Do it for your family, do it for your why, your kids, whatever it is, because honestly, I do not know where we would be right now if it weren't for this business. I can tell you right now, I wouldn't be in this house right now for sure. And we wouldn't have had a wedding. We had a dream wedding that we paid all in cash because of this business. I'm able to stay home with not one of my boys, but two of my boys now. And it's just been something that God, I know, placed at the right time. And yes, I've gone through extreme valleys and I've gone through hardships in this business and all of the things, but there's nothing worthwhile nothing that's worthwhile is going to be a steady, easy uphill or downhill slide. Like everything's going to have an uphill battle, and you're going to face challenges you've never faced before and go through things that are so hard. But the biggest thing that you want to do is not give up. You want to be able to push through that, because as soon as you push through that hardship, through that valley, you're going to hit that mountaintop and you're going to experience things that you never thought you'd experience before. I'm running out of breath. That's what I'm like, but I hope this helped, and I hope it resonated with someone tonight. And thanks for letting me talk to you guys.
Thank you so much, Ashley. Drop an emoji. Maybe it's a crying emoji. Maybe it's a fire emoji. Tell Ashley how much you loved her sharing her story. I adore you, sister girl. Okay, next we have Tanis. And Tanis, I know I made you a co-host already, so you should be able to unmute yourself.
Hi, can you guys hear me?
Yes. Can I put you on spotlight, or does that bother
You know what? I don't like looking at, I'm kind of like how Ashley is. Then I'll be like looking at something on my nose. Yeah. Can we get it?
You're good. You're
I
good.
like looking at everybody. Okay, awesome. Hi guys, I'm Tanis Goulet. I'm from Canada. I'm a presidential diamond. I've been with the company for 6.5 years. And first of all, ladies, thank you so much for sharing your stories and your hearts with us, and Kelly for planning this. I am so excited because my story is a little bit different, you guys. My husband and I, we thought we were doing everything right. We thought, go to school, get the jobs and everything, right? I was a gym manager and bartending, and I had a journalism degree, never used it. I always have worked in, I worked at hotels. I was always in the service industry, and I just didn't really know what I wanted to do. After university, I went and taught tennis at resorts, and I was kind of a nomad, and then I met my husband. And anyways, so we moved back to our hometown, and, I kept seeing this girl talk about this business online, and I had no idea what she was doing. I was watching her like a hawk. She was excited. She was changing her family's life. I didn't like, comment, or message her ever. I watched and watched and watched. Now in Canada, you get a year for maternity leave. And so, before even I had my daughter, we were never getting ahead. We were working lots. My husband and I have always been hard workers, but we were never getting ahead. I mean, you guys drop a one if you understand paycheck to paycheck, or working like crazy and you still can't get ahead. It sucks. It sucks. And time is everything. And I'm going to get to that. And so, you guys, I had my daughter. I didn't want to go back to work. And I kept watching this girl, like I said, and you guys, she was changing her family's life. And I was like, if she can do it, I can do it. So first of all, you guys, your belief and your vision and just your decision of making it is 90% of it. I am not a green. I had no idea what I was doing when I joined. And I didn't end up actually joining that girl that I watched who was successful, because she was in the US. I just ended up joining with some girl in my hometown who signed me up, never spoke to me again. And I was like, oh crap, what do I do? But you know what, you guys, I was so determined and so excited to make this happen. Your success in everything starts with you. And if you're relying on an upline, downline, everything, it's going to start everything. You have to lead yourself first. So you guys, I jumped into my uplines team page, who is a Black Diamond lead, Denise Walsh. And you guys, I just started like learning. I got on every single Zoom. I was excited. And you guys, I was just consistent. I'm like, I can go diamond. No idea what diamond was. But I knew the income that I had to make in order not to go back to work. So I want to explain how my conference and events change your life. And if you don't have your conference ticket, you guys need to be there in September. It's going to change your fall. It's going to change the rest of the year for you. I don't care if you've never promoted or you've fallen back, but you can explode your business. You guys, I went to conference. I couldn't afford it. But then I couldn't afford not to be there. I literally took protein bars with me. I found people on social media to room with, and I got myself there. I sat in the back of the room in Florida, and I said to myself, crying, that I will be up on that stage one day. You guys, I can't afford to be at conference. But one thing my dad taught me, and the reason I'll tell you about my whole parent situation, is that if you're gonna do something, do it. If you treat it like a hobby, you're gonna get paid like a hobby income. But if you treat this seriously, it'll change your entire life. And if you don't get that, you have to get that now, okay? I'm a very yellow-red leader. And you guys, with anything, if you believe you can do something, you're gonna make it happen. If you don't believe you're gonna do it, you're right also. So I got to conference, you guys. I came back, sorry. Remember at that time I had a couple customers, but you guys, I was talking about it on social media. I was excited. I was talking to everybody. I was sending out these long messages to people with no idea what I was doing. And I made a decision that I was going diamond. So 3 months later, so it took me 4 months, I went from executive to diamond. That last month, I earned a $10,000 bonus. I was so excited. I was like, oh my gosh, it's going to change our life. I decided that month I was going diamond. And it was going to happen. So I knew it was going to happen because I decided. And so I just remember it like yesterday. And that was, 6 years ago, and I literally thought everyone on my team had the same, like everyone wants to go diamond. Everyone wants to be successful. Wrong. So if you have a team, you guys, where not everybody's working or whatever, don't worry about it. A lot of people join a business like this to make $500, which is great, right? Not everybody wants to go to the top and be a part of that small percent. Okay, so you need to find your runners, and you find people like you by being that person first. So you guys, I got to diamond. I was so excited. And then all of a sudden people started quitting. I was like, what's going on? Like, they don't they want to do the business? Don't they want to be super successful? Like, what's going on? And I remember that I had gotten a concussion at the time. You guys, it was awful. My husband and my mom were like, oh, Tanis, like, maybe just like hold back. It's okay. It's just like, like they believed in the business, but they, they were worried about me. And if someone tells me to back off or stop doing something, I'm just going to keep going. So I remember literally that diamond team that I had, literally they stopped working. And I was like, oh, okay, well, it's okay, whatever. I'll just find new people. I'll just keep going. And so I remember that diamond team kind of falling apart or whatever. And I share this because I hate the term rebuilding. We are always building as business owners. So you guys, guess what? People quit my team all the time. But guess what? I also have top earners on my team too. It's going to happen. Doesn't matter. So I remember saying, you know what? Doesn't matter. And I brought in new people, new, hungry, excited people. And then I remember 6 months later, I went double diamond. And I couldn't go to that conference because I couldn't fly because of my concussion stuff. But when they announced the $30,000 bonus, I'm like, I'm making this happen. I'm doing it. And I had like 10 days left in the month. So remember, 6 months prior, that diamond team had fallen apart. But those weren't the people that were going to get me to double and VIP. That month, I earned that bonus, income disclosure statement. And my double diamond paycheck was just under 5 figures for the month. And you guys, it was life-changing. I'd never seen an income like that. Like not a lot of people, make that type of income. And that was just in a year in my business, okay? I went presidential in under 2 years. So I'm going to tell you what happened after that. So double diamond to triple diamond happened in 3 months. And then I almost doubled that. Okay, so we're paying attention here, right? So you guys, I got to triple diamond, and the income I was making was like, and that happened a year and a half into my business. And then I started talking about, retiring my husband, bringing him home, and like we paid off all our debt. We had almost, oh, we had so much debt. We were about to lose everything. And, you know, I told my husband that this would change our lives. And he's like, okay, like, let's see. And then he got really on board when he started seeing what was happening. And I always showed up on Zooms and I always would show up. Okay. I went Presidential Diamond 6 months later. I had brought in a girl onto my team who I'd followed up with for a year, you guys, and she exploded her business. So if you're not following up with people, that's on you, because the day you plant that seed is not the day you eat that fruit. And if I didn't plant those seeds, I wouldn't be where I am today. I got to Presidential Diamond and then I had a whole bunch of life happen. You know, I became a top earner quick, you guys, in like a year and a half, and life happened. We were over in Spain on a leadership retreat for international. And I came home and found out that my dad had, you know, a stage 4 cancer, and my dad was my best friend, and I completely shut down. Someone with mental health struggles, we all have something, right? Anxiety, depression, I've always dealt with that. I'm very open with that with my team, my network, everyone. I'm very open about that. And I just completely shut down. And, you know, I was still around in that month, but I was posting here and there, but went into a depression. That month, you guys, was my highest paycheck ever. It would have taken me 2 years at my job. And I'm telling you this because it was over $60,000 in 1 month income disclosure statement. It was from all these bonuses, you guys. And I'm telling you guys, does that just happen? No. But because I was disciplined and because I always kept going, okay? And, you know, after that, you guys, I continued on with my business and I never, ever stopped my business. I am so grateful for this business because I have been earning a residual income for 6.5 years. I was able to spend that whole rest of that year with my dad. I was able to take, you know, I brought my husband home from work. He was like, you know, stayed home and everything. He didn't need to go to his job anymore. We took my parents and my family on a 2-week trip, all paid for because of this business. I never had to worry about calling into a boss. And I always remember my dad saying that this business, like I took him to Dodger Stadium, we went on a tour, and the freedom of time was everything. Because when my dad passed away, I had more life happen. Oh, you guys, I had someone on my team. It was a big thing that happened. And, you know, in that moment, all I thought is that I could let my circumstances, you know, destroy me or keep getting back up like my dad always taught me. And I was 3 months pregnant when my dad passed away. A month after that, we found out that my mom had cancer. And I had a big thing happen on my team. But guess what, you guys? I've gone highs in my business, but I've never gone completely low because I've always kept getting back up. I remember sharing on social media what had happened to my dad. I signed up a distributor a day after his funeral. So fast forward to now, you guys, I have been a top income earner for the past, I'd say 4 or 5 years. There's girls on my team, and you have to be that type of person. And we all handle things differently, but I want you guys to know that this business is such a blessing because of the freedom of time. Sure, I used to love and buy all the, we all like nice things, but to me, it's not even about stuff like that. It's about, you know, I love our home. I was able to bring my husband home. He's since started another business. We're business owners. We have multiple businesses, and it's about being able to offer this opportunity to other people. I mean, it doesn't matter if you want to make $500 a month, $10,000 a month, $30,000 a month, but what this business does is freedom of time. I couldn't even imagine this past year and a half going into jobs and everything. And if you're that person who loves your job and you're doing this as an extra, that's wonderful too, because this could be your, you know, plan A. It was always my plan A. It was always my plan A. And that is why I've been successful. And you guys, now my mom not in the best health situation, I'm just so blessed that, you know, and I have a son now as well. But I've struggled a lot with grief, depression, anxiety, but I always show up in my business because I want people to know I'm real. And I share this. I don't share everything on my social media, but I share this because you don't have to try and be perfect and look all perfect every day. Like, you know, everyone's different in this business. You know, you see all the fancy people and the people, you know, who are not, and you just have to be you and be your best self. This year, I really focused on my mental health, myself. I had to work on things. I did 75 hard. It changed my life. I had to do things to get myself out of my own way. You guys, a lot of people struggled this year. Mental health, we all did, whatever, right? But if you're going to be that person, you're either going to be a victim or you're going to be the person that's like, you know what? My story can help other people. My story, I hope, can help one of you guys tonight or all of you tonight, because if I can be successful, and there's been a lot of stuff that's happened in my business, I wear my heart on my sleeve to people. But you guys, at the end of the day, we are our problem, but we're also our solution. And, you know, when you really work on the things that you need, you guys can make $1 million in this business. You don't have to have any special thing. All you have to do is be consistent, believe in yourself. If you guys look at my social media, you will see that I'm consistent, like 99.9% of the time. You will see that I do it all. I do my stories, I do all those things, but I work smarter, not harder. And, you know, if someone like me can get up from like things that have destroyed me in my entire life, because my parents are everything to me, but now it's my kids, it's my future. So it's up to me to keep getting back up. And so I hope other men and women and families can look at me and look at all these other girls and say that, you know what, if we can get back up from these valleys, those valleys are where you learn everything. The mountaintops are great, you guys. The mountaintops are great when you're making all this huge income, but in those valleys are what's going to form you, or it's going to break you. One thing I want to share, Josh Parker, you guys, go read his stories from today. In this past year and a half, a lot of people gave up and quit on things. But then there's going to be those people, all you guys who showed up tonight, and myself, all you guys, that are going to change your story. You know, going into the fall right now, I told my team, I Zoomed with girls last night and everything. It's a decision. If I woke up tomorrow and was starting brand new and had no one on my team, I know I could go to the top again. I know I can. But I want to help people on my team get to where they are. And maybe they want to go ruby. Maybe they want to go double diamond. Maybe they want to go triple. If you believe you can go triple diamond, guess what? You can make it happen and make that income for your family. If you don't believe you can do it, your upline could call you every single day. I could get Mark Pentecost to call you. But until you believe you can do it, you guys, the Pentecosts are the most incredible people. When I was losing, you know, when I lost my dad and stuff with my mom, and when my son was born, and, you know, I went to the ranch last year, like, they're just the most incredible people, you guys. Like, our company, it is incredible. Like, I will be here until I'm 99 years old. And I love this company so much. I love the values. They care so much about us, you guys. Cindy, you know, prays over everybody. Like, she texts me like, you know, these people are just incredible people. And to work for a company that's always giving back and wanting the best for us, you know? And so one thing I want to leave you guys with, that it's not all about the income. It's truly about the freedom of time, becoming, you know, your best. And I'm proud of you guys. I'm proud of myself for going, I look back on things that I'm like, oh my gosh, we're all still standing. And it's been a crazy year and a half, right? And in Canada, I feel like, oh my gosh, I keep telling everybody that I want to move to the US or move to the Bahamas on a little island somewhere. But you guys, maybe we can for fun. But, you know, if anything, if you take anything from me tonight, is that I think a lot of us joined in the fall. I remember I joined like November, December or so. And you guys, going into the fall, either right now people are going to explode and run with this, or maybe they just take their time or whatever, enjoyed their summer. I get it. But now is really the time that you can explode your business. You can go diamond if you want. Maybe you fell back. We've all fallen, but we've all gotten back up. I have gotten back up from every single thing. And I have had to work so hard on those things. Do the personal development. Do it because it'll change you. You know, whether you're into prayer, meditation, exercise, eat healthy, take care of yourself, use your supplements. If you're not running an auto ship and using the products, you're not serious. Sorry, I said it, say it all the time. If you're not using the products, you can't say that you want to become a top. It drives me crazy, right? If you're not using the products, you need to run your auto ship, because even when I joined and I couldn't afford to, my dad said to me, he said, shame on you, shame on anyone. If they're not going to use the products and take this business serious, you don't deserve to become a top leader. How can I share? And you guys, I have been so busy with customers and people wanting to join the business, because your light is going to help other people. Your energy, look at your social media. And I had to work on myself so much because I was getting depressed and just life had hit me hard. So work on yourself, because everything around you will get better. You'll be able to handle anything, and you'll be able to become successful, because it touches you in every way of your life, and you will be blessed beyond measure. And you guys, I'm telling you, this income that you can make with this, maybe you're making $50 right now, maybe it fell back, maybe you're making a couple hundred. You could be making double diamond in 2 months from now. You can, if you believe you can. And my double diamond paycheck was almost $10,000, my first double diamond paycheck. Okay. So I love you guys. I'm so excited that you guys are all here, and you can come back from anything.
Incredible. I love your perspective, and I just love your knowledge, Tanis. Every time I hear from you, you're amazing. Thank you so, so much for sharing. All right, Kelly Jo, I think I co-hosted you, so you should be able to unmute yourself. You're going to close us out. How's your service? Tell us all the things.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, thank goodness. You guys, we're in the middle of storms and my Wi-Fi is out, and we live out in the country and my service is terrible. So if I start cutting out, let me know and I can try to shift around, but this seems to be a good spot. I am Kelly Jo Campbell Dickman, and I am from a small town in Wyoming. This kind of seems like a call with a bunch of small town girls, and currently living in Minnesota. But a little about my story. I joined this business in 2015. So it's been almost 6 years, October of 2015, another fall girl. I was broke, suicidal. I was actually planning my suicide when I joined this business. I was a single mama, and life was rough. A lot of it, I was super negative, so I made it really rough, but there were some situations that I was in that were just absolutely terrible. And like I said, I was broke. I was completely broke. I was a teacher, but we didn't have any money. Like my kids' dads weren't paying child support. You guys know teachers don't make a lot of money. Okay. I didn't have any money, and I had maxed out credit cards and negative bank account balance. And Tamika kept asking me if I could join. And I was like, no, because I don't have the money. But finally one day something just snapped, and I sold some stuff around my house and I got started. And literally it was the best thing I ever did. I was working and I was a teacher, and that's what I always wanted to do. But I had a terrible boss. You guys, this man was the worst person in the world, and he had ruined me, and I had allowed him to do that. And he was in control of my paycheck. He was in control of my life. He was in control of whether my kids had food in their mouths or not. And when I joined this business, I thought that I was going to suck at it, really, because I had done other businesses before. And so I was like, just going to quit. I was going to show Tamika that I sucked, so she'd quit asking me and I could quit. But the truth was, I did a really good job, and I was good at this, and I loved it. And I built to Diamond in 5 months with like nobody placed anything under me. I did it. I had a team, but we did it on our own. It was not my upline building me. We ran to Diamond within 5 months. I earned $22,000 in bonuses, and I changed our life forever. I was able to quit my job, and I was able to move to the state of Minnesota. So built to Diamond really fast. Things were really good. I had changed my life. I quit teaching because that principal had ruined me. I didn't want to do it anymore. I decided I want to stay home. Well, 3 weeks into staying home, I realized real fast that I am not a mama that should be staying home. Drop a 1 if you feel the same way, like you just do not want to stay home. Really thought that I did, but no, not for me. So I ended up actually going back to work, and I was subbing. And then as that summer had gone on, I had lost everything. My business was failing. We were struggling with bills again. I had met my husband at that point, and he had moved in with me. He had a crappy job, and things were struggling again. And I'm like, what is going on? Like, what has happened? I dropped all the way back down to executive, and I'm like, this is not our life. Like, what is happening? We are not supposed to be broke. Like, I have dreams and I want to reach them. And so after about 6 months of living in my pity party and just living with being broke, paycheck to paycheck, we decided that we couldn't do it anymore. And we didn't want to live like that. And so we built back from executive to diamond, and we built back strong. And I can't remember the exact dates, but I know I went diamond again between the end of 2016, 2017, right around there. And then we were able to go double in 2019, and then we went triple in 2020. But throughout that, there was so much other life. I have like notes all over so I don't forget anything. There were so many things happening. During that time, my husband and I struggled terribly. We got married really fast and we didn't know each other, and we struggled really bad. We were not nice to each other. Our house was very toxic, and there were a lot of bad things going on. Since then, we've grown and our relationship has become absolutely incredible. And I'm so proud that we stuck through it. But you guys, there were days that I didn't know if I was going to make it through it. And I got my master's degree during that time and went to school full time, as well as teaching full time. I got another full-time teaching job. I guess I missed that. I got my like dream job, and I love my principal, and I'm in such a good place. And so I'm able to work outside of the home now because I want to, not because I have to. And that is amazing. And also my husband works out of town 95% of the time. So I'm basically a single mom. I have 2 busy boys. My husband's home on the weekends, which is great because he mows the lawn, and I hate mowing the lawn. So even on my worst days, I'm like, you're here to mow the lawn. Who has like something about their significant other where you're like, okay, you do this, so I'm going to keep you around. So it's literally changed everything. And he grew up in a lot of domestic violence and not having a lot. And this business has taught him to be able to dream. And I've seen my kids be able to dream. I remember when we first started this business, my kids were begging me to buy ice cream, and I had to tell them, and go to the movies, and I had to tell them they had to choose one. And I remember just praying that they would choose ice cream because I knew we couldn't afford the movies. And now they like want Super Bowl tickets and to spend a month at Disney World. And I'm like, okay, like 5 years ago, we were begging for ice cream. Like, what is going on? But the dreams have been absolutely incredible. So like I said, we built to triple in 2020, but I'm going to be really honest. We built when we pushed it when we probably shouldn't have. My team wasn't necessarily ready. I wasn't necessarily the leader that I needed to be, and we lost it all, you guys. And I have gone back to double diamond, but I have spent the past year being double diamond strong and working on myself and building everything that we need so that we're ready to push back to the next level. And honestly, like, obviously paychecks can be as big as you want at whatever level you're at. Like your title, your rank does not define what your paycheck's going to be, and it does not define you. And I have had to learn that just because that at the end of the month, it doesn't say triple diamond does not mean that I'm not a triple diamond leader and that I'm not a good leader and that I don't have value to bring. And so you guys, you're going to have values just like any business, right? Like no business is just always up. It's a roller coaster. And so just remember that your rank does not define you, and you are worth everything. And I promise you, you are not too busy to do this. You are not from too small of a town. There can be everything against you, and you can do this if you just choose to. Lean into your business. At my hardest times, on my days when I thought I couldn't make it, I leaned into my business and I grew, and I leaned into my team, and they were there for me when I needed them. So I'm looking at my notes thinking so I've learned to be myself and not to push things. Believe, don't force. So when things are ready to happen, they're going to happen. Now, that doesn't mean that I can just sit here and be like, yep, someday my triple's going to come back and I'm going to go prez. I've got to work hard every single day, every single month, and it will come, right? Like if I'm working, if I'm being consistent, it will come. Personal development has changed everything for me. A lot of my stuff, like I said, I was suicidal when I started this business. I literally had written a suicide note a couple days before I joined, and I had it all planned out. And personal development has changed everything for me, where I've gone from being the most negative, toxic person to somebody that people enjoy being around, where I enjoy being around myself, where people say, like, you're such a positive light. Like, thank you for everything that you've done for us. I have people message me almost every day, like, thank you for your positivity. And that's what this has done for me. And it's from personal development. One thing that I've learned about personal development too, is we can ask top leaders and we can listen to top leaders and other people about what book they're reading. I always write those books down, and I have like a list of books, but you need to find what you need at that time. And it might be that you need something to be able to help deal with your kids or help deal with your husband or help deal with your work life. And it might be completely business related, but it doesn't have to be. And what I've really learned is right now I need inspirational stories. So I'm reading some unorthodox books that some people probably wouldn't read, thinking that it was personal development, but it's inspiring true life stories where people have been at the pits of hell and they're rising up. And that's what I need right now. And so you need to find the personal development that you need. And honestly, just Google, like, I'm struggling fighting with my husband every night. What can help me with personal development? And there will be things that pop up. And so find what you need and grow in that way that you need, because that in turn is going to help your business. I always practice the 3 C's, and you guys should write these down. Somebody should put them in the chat. Stay connected, which means you're getting on calls. So right now you're connected. Be coachable. Listen to the people that are where you want to be. Okay. They're there for a reason. You need to be listening to them and doing what they're doing, and then be consistent. Do all the things. The minute you don't do those things is the minute that somebody's going to notice and things are going to start to fall apart. Now, that doesn't mean if you have a bad day that like your business is going to completely crumble. But if you have a bad week or a bad month or a bad year, it's going to be harder and harder the longer you go not being consistent. So we have a daily task list that we do. And I make a point to do it every single day. And some days I do more than others, obviously, right? But in the past almost 6 years, there's been one day where I did not post on social media. And I know that day and I regret that day because I didn't open my business. I know that I lost the trust of somebody that day because they went to check on me and I hadn't posted. Okay, so be consistent. Do work your business no matter what is going on. Do the basics every single day. Like you've heard the other leaders say, host a post is life. I just went on vacation for a couple weeks and I was doing host a posts every single day, but I wasn't getting up as many as I should have. And there was a direct correlation when I was on vacation. I did not get one customer and I barely had any API enrollments. I came home and started doing as many host a posts as I should do. And I've got customer after customer, like just rolling in. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, even if they're not even coming from host a post, there's a direct correlation between doing host a post and your enrollment. So if you're not getting 5 to 10 up a day, you need to, because then you're going to start enrolling. And I like that. I proved it to myself. I did the study for you. I made the mistake. You guys make sure you're doing 5 to 10. Make sure you're getting results, message, post, chart, engage, build, try new things. Like, don't be afraid to try new things. I think it was Ashley said that she had been afraid to do host a post too. I was too. Why was I afraid to try something new? I don't even know, because it's been the best thing that's ever happened to my business. Right. So don't be afraid to try those new things. We created dream boards and we're not living our dreams. Like, I looked at my dream board from last year and we've crossed almost everything off because I put it out into the universe that I wanted a new house. I wanted a new vehicle. I wanted to be able to go on vacation. I wanted to pay off our credit cards. All those things have happened, and they've happened like I'm not saying it's just been easy. That's just woke up and happened, but it's happened with ease. It's just fallen into place. So my biggest tip, host a post, stay connected, do the things, do not ever give up on yourself. And even when you drop, even if you lose rank, even when people quit, if you show up and do the things, you don't know who you're going to inspire. You don't know who needs you. And you can change the world if you just believe in yourself and put that positivity out there and let this business change your life.
Perfect. You're amazing, Kelly. I love hearing your story and hearing from you, and I appreciate you so, so much. It's so refreshing to hear a different perspective in someone who is a VIP, top leader, and working full-time. Absolutely incredible. I appreciate you so, so much. You guys, I just want to give a huge thank you to Carissa, Ashley, Tanis, and Kelly Jo for jumping on tonight, for being a part of this, making this call happen, taking the time to pour into each and every one of you guys. It surpassed all expectations that I had. I'm going to get this recording up. I hope that you guys had so many takeaways, and like so many of them said, if you want something to come from this, right? It's amazing to get on these calls, right? It's amazing to be connected. But if you're not putting in the action, if you're not being consistent, being a top leader, doing all the things that you want to do is not going to happen. So take what you've learned, soak it in, and apply it. Do something with it, right? Because what's coming, I promise you, what's coming next month is going to be incredible, and it will change your life if you let it. So thank you guys so much for being on. Have an amazing night, and I will get this recording up very soon. Bye, guys.